The Omaha Supernovas are looking to get back into the win column after being swept at home last week against Indy. Still sitting atop of the league, the Supernovas are poised for attack against the Vegas Thrill. It's a Friday night in Omaha. The Professional Volleyball Federation is live from the CHI Health Center in Omaha. Tonight, the league-leading Omaha Supernovas take on the Vegas Thrill on Heroes Night on the beautiful new Kiewit Court. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Dolman alongside Lindsey Peterson. It is great to have you with us tonight for volleyball in Omaha. You know, we're inside 40 days remaining in the regular season, and there are 3 teams tied with 12 wins atop the league standings, including Omaha. And Lindsey, Omaha's done a lot of intriguing things with their lineup in the last couple of matches, but one person they've always been able to rely on is Reagan Cooper.
Yeah, Reagan Cooper has been a stabilizer for him on the left side, and she had 13 kills in the last outing against Vegas, and she's coming off a big performance against Indy as well, and has been consistent all year, hitting at 265, so she'll be someone that the Supernovas will look to again tonight.
Well, the Vegas Thrill saw a 7-match losing streak come to an end in their last match at Grand Rapids, and a big reason why they got the win, well, Charity Looper had a record-breaking night outside.
Charity is such a dynamic athlete, and she's so fun to watch out on the court. She had 23 kills against Grand Rapids and is hitting over 375 in her last 3 matches. So she will have to have a big performance to continue to get in the win column for the Vegas Thrill.
Well, these two teams met earlier this season back on January 17th, a long time ago. In that match, the Vegas Thrill pulled off a reverse sweep to defeat Omaha. Tonight they meet for the second time right here in Omaha on Kiewit Court in the CHI Center. Welcome back to Omaha for tonight's Pro Volleyball Federation matchup between the Omaha Supernovas and the Vegas Thrill. Second meeting of the season for these two teams. They'll meet again twice more in the month of April, so they're about to get to know each other pretty well. Let's get to know the starting lineups. And for the Vegas Thrill, Alicia Glass-Childress will do the setting, and you've got Maddox, Looper, Hannah Stout, Oblad, and Scholl is the libero. For the Omaha Supernovas, Nadi Valentine Anderson will get the call at center. It's a pretty familiar lineup for what Omaha's been putting together most of the season, except for the last couple of matches. Of course, Brooke Nunneveller outstanding on the outside. Reagan Cooper, we talked about her. Kelsey Payne has been in and out. She's back in tonight. Two of the most formidable blockers in all of professional volleyball in Horton Caffey, and Camila Gomez is the libero. A lot of intrigue coming into the match tonight, Lindsay, as to just what Laura Bird would do with her starting lineup, because they have mixed things up the last couple of matches.
Yeah, they've been rotating their lineup. She said a lot of it has to do with matchups, and you've seen some 6-2. You've seen Pedraza getting in there to set a little bit, and when you insert a new setter, it changes the rhythm and in the offense. And so really she's, at this point of the season, she's looking what she can do to keep her team on edge and ahead. Teams are getting familiar with each other by this time of the season. And although this is only a second matchup with the Vegas Thrill, they have 2 more coming up soon. And so when you play a team over and over, you got to continue to look at ways in your lineup so you have a way to keep the opposing team on edge.
In and out of the light show at the CHI Center, there's Laura Kuhn. Most famous nickname, I think, in all of volleyball. You say Bird to anybody who in this business, they know exactly who you're talking about. Second season as the head coach, and Ramon Hernandez Cruz is in his first season as the head coach at Vegas, a Puerto Rican legend on the men's side, and a 3-time All-American at Penn State in his collegiate career. And the match begins with the Supernovas getting the first point on an ace. Doing the serving is Caitlin Hoard.
That's so fitting for an ace, because that was one thing that Bird talked about, is we continue to stress the serving, how important serving is for our team, and we got to continue to prove in that area.
That's just her second ace of the season, and there's a kill for the Vegas Thrill on the board.
Cameron that time just a little bit off. The set was off the net. She was under the ball. It was just an off speed. You could see the timing was off a little bit between the blockers for the Supernovas.
Stout serves it up for Vegas. Good block off Payne's attack. Nunneviller's going to get her first swing, and that goes off the top of the block. That's a touch and a point for Omaha.
The feeling we'll call Brooke's name a lot tonight. She's just such an all-around player and really the leader of this team for the Supernovas. And she's defensively, she does it. She does it in the front row, and she provides that spark of energy when they need it most.
And Omaha gives the point back on the service error, that off the hand of Kelsey Payne. 2-2 early on. Last meeting between these two teams was back on January 17th, just the third match of the season. They've got 2 more coming up in April. Good serve that time. Valentine Anderson sets it to Nunneviller. She's dug. And a joust at the net. And Omaha scrambling around. That's why you have the liberos. Gomez keeps it in play. And a huge kill for Hannah Maddox. And Vegas has its first lead.
Vegas taking advantage of that free ball there, and Alicia Glass, the setter for the Vegas Thrill, such an experienced setter, an Olympian, and you could see right away she knew. Fast tempo to the outside, attack that smaller block, and Anderson.
A tough serve by Cameron Hanna, but it's a point for Omaha. Nunneviller will do the serving. Comes into the match tonight 4th in the league in kills. She registered number 237 just a few moments ago. Maddox is dug. Joust at the net. That's won by Valentine Anderson. Now there's a net violation called on Omaha.
Omaha comes out with a challenge right away that Nunneviller was saying that was all ball. It wasn't a player that touched the net. So that's, with this challenge system, you have to make the call right away. You can't wait and talk about it. It has to be an immediate challenge by the coach in order for the referee to take a look at it.
Well, judge this for yourself. You see Valentine Anderson go high up. Did her hands come down on top of the net? That's got to be the question. Is that angle good enough, or will this one be better?
Oh, I think she got it on the follow through there, it looks like.
Yeah, right hand looked like it just did touch the top of the tape. Well, credit her for getting up, and she's pleading her case. No, I did not touch it there. Bird's in her second season, seeking her 30th win as Omaha's head coach. Better than a 70% win percentage. And of course, on the bench when Omaha won the PVF title in 2024 on this very floor. Vegas Thrill come in 8-9 on the season. Picked up the win the other night at Grand Rapids, a 4-set victory that ended the longest losing streak in the PVS this season. That was a 7-match stretch. They got off to a good start, 7-2. Everything's pretty promising. And the verdict goes against Omaha. That's a point for the Thrill. There was a net touch, but to go 7-2, feel pretty good, and then go on a 7-match skid.
Yeah, and who knows the reason for that skid? You know, there might have been some injuries in their lineup. They may have been still experimenting, trying to figure out what their best lineup was, and but definitely a rough stretch for the Thrill, and it was important for them to come off to get a win the other night as they get ready to go on the road.
It's a flying tip out of the back row by Kelsey Payne. Did not have a lot on that, but she gets the kill.
Smart shot by Kelsey. Her feet weren't quite to the ball, so she knew she couldn't pull it down and try to attack that ball, so she makes the most out of it by throwing it in the middle of the court. That's usually a good spot.
Charity Looper has not had many swings, and there wasn't much on that one. Set free by Nunaviller. And out of the back row, there's a kill for Hannah Maddox.
Alicia Glass is very confident right now in setting Maddox. She's got a lot of swings. I think first and foremost is because she's matched up against the smaller block and Valentine Anderson in the front row to start with, but you'll see her use her a lot in the back row as well.
That ball just barely got in the air. And a net violation again called on Omaha. That was a tough serve. And back to serve, number 12, that's Berkeley Oblad, a 6'5" native of Henderson, Nevada. That's where the Thrill play their home matches. Nice job by the Thrill to poke that around and keep it in play. Reagan Cooper, she's dug. And the Thrill has jumped out to a 3-point advantage on Omaha in set one. It's 7-4.
There you see Looper just going over the smaller block on the right side, throwing it down the middle, and it's tough when you set it tight and she's able to attack over the blockers. It's tough for the back row defenders because they're pulled back to be able to defend that ball that you throw down in the middle of the court.
Service error by the Vegas Thrill, giving a point to Omaha. Back to serve is Nati Valentine Anderson, native of Puerto Rico, 16 years a professional. And she gives the point right back with the service error. Service errors were plaguing Omaha early on in the season. If there was one area that was driving Bird nuts, it was the service errors.
It seems to be an area that they still need to maybe work on a little bit. At least the start of the matches here, after an ace, they've come back with a couple errors.
Omaha scrambling around defensively, and a kill for Cameron Hanna. And it's a 4-point advantage for Vegas. Back to do the serving is Alicia Glass Childress, native of Leland, Michigan, played at Penn State. Good pass from Nati to handle. And that attack goes wide off the hand of Caitlin Horde.
I like the idea of running Horde in the middle. That'll be a key for the Supernovas, is to really get their middles involved offensively. Horde's been a dynamic presence defensively for them, but they really want to get her going offensively. That puts a lot of pressure on the opposing team.
Well, Nunaviller had to adjust and improvise just to keep them with her left hand. Now she gets a full swing at it. And nice job by the Thrill defensively. But another chance for Omaha in the middle. That's Horde who's blocked. Good block by Kelsey Payne. She was stranded over there on the left side. She had to do it or it wasn't going to get done.
Payne, a right side attacker, just could never get back over to the right side of the court. So stayed out there as left side block. And that set was a little tight for Hannah Cameron, and Payne made a nice move pushing back into the court to get the slow block.
Reagan Cooper serves it up for Omaha. Morgan Stout, she's dug. And bumped over to Payne, and she sent it long of the line, and the Thrills lead is back up to 5, 11-6.
Gomez just trying to get that ball high and up to the front row to allow somebody to take a swing on it, so you're not sending a free ball. You can't afford to send free balls in a league when you're playing against a league this tough, and to have to come back and try to defend a free ball is such a challenge.
Nonneviller's best swing, and she's dug. Kelsey Payne on the right side. Shot back over to the Omaha, tips the tape and rolls over. And Vegas can't respond. Wildest play of the night, and it goes to the Supernovas, who trail it by 4.
Staying organized in chaos, that's the key, and that was one of those chaotic plays. You saw the setter for Supernovas, Valentine Anderson, making a dig all the way over on the left back side of the court just to keep the ball in play. And every team scrambling to keep it alive.
Hannah is poked up by Reagan Cooper. Big block put up off the attack by Hannah Maddox.
Give credit to Payne again on that block. She really was talking to her middle blocker and Caffey, because that set was so far inside. You could see Payne scooting in, telling her to stay put, so they took away that angle.
Back to serve for Omaha's Caitlin Horde. And the overpass tees it up perfectly for Kayla Caffey, and she terminates. Can't do that.
Caitlin Horde running some points from the service line. She starts the match with an ace, and then here she comes and gets an overpass. So it's really key that we talk about defensively what she can do, but providing offense and a little bit of score point from the service line.
Good match so far. We've got a timeout on the court with Vegas leading Omaha 11-9 in set number 1. With Lindsey Peterson, I'm Bill Dolman. The Vegas Thrill have a 2-point lead on Omaha in set number 1. Vegas led 11-6, but it's a 3-0 run by the Supernovas. They'll tighten things up. The Thrill called a timeout. And it's Caitlin Horde who puts the ball back in play. That pass pulls Childress way off the net, and Vegas never looked organized at all.
No. It's again Horde putting pressure on them from the service line, and those out-of-system plays, you really got to do the best you can to keep that in play and not give the opposing team an easy point with a hitting error.
And that's not the way you want to look coming out of a timeout. And look at that ball roll off the net and fall for a service ace.
You know it's your night when you get the ball to roll over the tape like that when the serve.
Yeah, they work on that.
Yeah. It's a little bit of luck involved.
And it's another ace for Horde. She came in with just 1 ace this season, and she now has 3 in this match. And she's given Omaha a 12-11 lead. It's a 6-0 run. Another tough serve. And Hannah gets the kill to end that, or beg your pardon, that it was Cameron Hannah who got the kill to tie it at 12.
And it just really stressing the inside hand of Kayla Caffey. You see her making that move out, but her right hand comes off the net just a little bit, which allows Cameron Hannah to get that kill.
Rolled over by Nunaviller. There's Maddox. Looked like that may have touched the line and also touched Reagan Cooper, and she gets the kill, and Vegas has regained the lead for the time being.
It's a tough swing by Maddox. She was off the net, but she was still able to put heat on it and take it deep into the backcourt.
Morgan Stout served this up. Quickly in the middle, it goes to Kayla Caffey, and she terminates.
Give credit to Valentine Anderson on that set. It was tight. She saved it from going over, but held the middle blocker on that play to allow Kayla Caffey to have an open net to hit.
Berkeley Oblad looked a little confused on that, and again, she looks confused, not at all in sync with Alicia Glass-Childress. Oblad, tall at 6'5", wearing number 12. That's back-to-back plays that she's been involved in. Omaha leads at 14-13. Out of the back row, Reagan Cooper. What a dig by Childress, falling to her wallet. And that goes off the hand of Gomez and a point for Vegas.
Sometimes you have to pull out the whatever move you can to make a dig, especially when you've been playing volleyball as long as Alicia has. Sometimes you just got to rely on sticking an arm out. She was able to get that one up.
We have seen some chaotic and bizarre plays, and we're still just midway through set number 1. That's volleyball. Oblad. Easy play for Payne. Nunaviller. Strong tip, and that falls just in front of the libero, Tegan DeFalco, who has come in. She wears 13.
I would say both teams right now are really trying to still find their rhythm offensively for this match. There's been a lot of scramble plays. It looks like the tempo of the sets on both sides are off just a little bit, so really working on the communication between setter and hitter.
Maddox with the kill. Maddox is 4th in the league in kills per set at 3.74, and she's been busy. 6th in the league in kills overall, nearing 220 on the season. A lot of spin on that serve. Side spin. Dumped over by Valentine Anderson, and she gets a kill.
Great decision by Valentine Anderson there. She's front row. She was jump set and saw no one was up with her. And instead of going up and trying to slam it down, she just did a soft little set over the net, kept the defense on their toes.
Omaha's the first to 16, and we've come to our technical timeout. Welcome back to Omaha. It is Omaha and Vegas in Pro Volleyball Federation action. The Omaha Supernovas unveiling their Black Knight uniforms tonight for the very first time. You still see shades of the blue and the cool pink color, but Supernovas in black on Heroes Night at the CHI Center. Pretty cool to see the alternate uniform. Might be a hot seller in this building tonight.
Alternate uniforms are always the exciting thing for teams. I mean, it's a big deal for college teams whip out an alternate uniform. You see professional teams, and a lot of times it will go with a theme for the night or whatever it may be, but especially at this point in the season, why not throw something new out there?
At the midway part of set number 1, it's the Omaha Supernovas 16, the Vegas Thrill 15. I mentioned that these two met back in January, and it was Vegas pulling off a reverse sweep. Omaha jumped out to a 2-0 lead. It was not, shall we say, Lindsay, a pretty match. Vegas won, hitting 202 on the night. Omaha hit 131 on the night, and Vegas won despite 14 service errors. Out of the timeout. Big swing by Charity Looper. She's been quiet so far. Reagan Cooper taps it into the defense. Good block put up by Omaha. Valentine Anderson settles underneath it, and into the donut goes Brooke Nuneviller for another kill.
Brooke has so many shots in her toolbox. You know, she's a dynamic attacker in the front row. You see her take big swings, and when she comes flying in the back row, and then at the last second just takes a little off to tip it over the block in the middle of the court.
4 kills already for Nuneviller, and that attack sails long, and it's another point for Omaha, who trailed at one point in this set 11-6, but it's Omaha who has taken an 18-15 lead. And I think we have a challenge call.
I think maybe the Thrill was challenging that they thought Supernovas might have been in the net.
Well, they challenged one net call and got it to go their way.
Bill, going back to those stats from the first meeting between these two teams, I mean, a stat line like that would cause a sleepless night for a lot of coaches. You just wonder offensively, what are you doing, and how come we're hitting at such a low percentage? But sometimes, as coaches will always say, a win is a win, no matter how ugly it is. And I'm guessing the Thrill were okay coming home with a win, or getting a win out of that match, even though they only hit 202.
And if you're Bird, you're wondering, what kind of team do I have? Because that was the third match of the season, and you get reverse swept at Vegas. Well, things have gone okay for Omaha since then. And either a touch of the ball or a touch of the net. It's neither. Certainly not a touch of the net right there. I think that was Kayla Cappy that was the defender. It's a 12-4 Omaha run since the Supernovas trailed in the first set 11-6. So whatever timeout that Hernandez Cruz called seemed to have things have worked out quite well for Omaha. A little mini 3-0 run, and Omaha's been in control since then. Left-handed swing by Willow Johnson, who's come in. Got a fresh look and a kill for Vegas.
Thrill brought it in, did a little rotation there and brought in Willow in the front row to run a 6-2. So they're running a 6-2. They took Glass out just to give another option in front row. They're struggling to side out there. And when you have the setter front row and your team's not passing well, it makes you very predictable offensively. And that's what they needed, another option. Bringing your setter in the back row gives you that 3-attack option in the front row.
There's somebody who expected to see perhaps a lot of tonight. That's Allison Mayfield, who served it up. And the attack by the Supernovas is touched. It's a kill for Kelsey Payne.
Kelsey Payne was in the lineup early this year, and then had a little spell where she was trying to figure things out, and Emily London got some playing time, but Payne back in the lineup tonight after a great week of practice from what the coaches said, and you can see that the confidence from Valentine Anderson is still in Payne. She's gotten a lot of opportunities tonight.
Pretty play to Charity Looper, who gets the kill for the Thrill. She's a 5'11" native out of Dallas, Texas, and she can fly. Great hops. Valentine Anderson tracks that down. That's a difficult play. Not much on it from Payne. Looper's going to give it another shot. This time she rolls it over to Payne. Reagan Cooper cuts in front of the block, but hit it wide. And it's a little mini run for the Thrill.
Looper, talk about how high she jumps, what a dynamic athlete she is. She really has provided a spark for the Thrill the last 3 matches here. And just see her come up and take a little off. The defenders are expecting a big shot from her, and when she mixes up a shot like that, it just throws the rhythm off of the team.
Things out of sync right now for Omaha. That's a back row attack, and the whistle goes against the Supernovas. We've seen the lead evaporate. We're tied at 19 all. A little bit of momentum for Vegas. Well, that stops it for the moment. Kelsey Payne was at a good opening set. She gets the kill, and the lead is back to the Supernovas side.
It's a big swing down the line by Kelsey Payne. The set was a little tight. She really got her feet to the ball there, so she was able to beat the block on that swing.
Willow Johnson goes off the block, and it's a kill, and a set-tying kill at 20. Willow Johnson from Paradise Valley, Arizona, 6'3", lefty. Honorable mention All-American during her collegiate career at Oregon. Charity Looper back to serve. 8 aces on the season coming in. Dunneviller terminates it.
When Supernovas pass and Valentine Anderson's able to set that quicker tempo out to Dunneviller, it's tough for the middle blocker for the Thrill to get there. So you see there was a big space or gap seam in the block to allow her to have that open court in the middle of the court to attack.
Good serve from Caitlin Horde. Willow Johnson uses the block and gets another kill. An effective sub, tying it at 21.
Johnson just brings a different look. She's a lefty taking a swing out of the back row from what they had in Cameron Hannah playing on the right side. So this is a different angle. Blockers have to adjust where they're setting up and the shots they're taking away when you're blocking a lefty on the right side. Omaha
fighting that serve. Dunneviller rejected. Valentine Anderson goes in the middle, and the kill to Kayla Caffey.
Perfect timing to set the middle. There's been a lot of balls going to the pin, not a lot of middle offense there. So it's in transition, and she just threw it up quick. Kayla doing a nice job, not taking a big swing on it, just being able to throw it down.
Kelsey Payne has the Thrill scrambling, and that's mishit by Maddox. And who could blame her? That was not an easy play to make.
It's a tough ball to hit coming over your shoulder from the back line. You have to try to locate that and where you are on the court. It requires great spatial awareness.
Another timeout on the floor with Omaha now 2 points away from taking set number 1. Again, go to 25, got to win by 2.
When disaster strikes, Restoration One is here to help. They don't just restore your property, they treat you like a neighbor, offering reliable service.
We'll be right back here on Sunday for
Restoration One.
More Supernovas volleyball. Tune in at 3 p.m. Central Time as Omaha plays host to Grand Rapids. Then on Saturday, April 5, it's Orlando and the Supernovas at 6 p.m. Central. Season is winding down, so mark your calendars to catch these upcoming Supernovas matches on Nebraska Public Media. And again, Omaha comes in one of 3 teams tied at the top of the PVF standings. Omaha, by percentage, has the best record. 17 matches played so far this season. Omaha's 12-5. They've had a couple of 4-match win streaks, but they're coming off a very disappointing loss to Indy back on the 22nd. A 3-0 sweep in this building that hardly ever happens. But it was just a performance that, quite frankly, you get the sense the Supernovas were a little bit embarrassed by because they had such a large crowd of nearly 13,000. Bert Kuhn told us our fans deserve better. Patty kicked around at the net as we resume play. Maddox off the block for the kill.
Maddox again making the most of the matchup she has right now in the front row, trying to go down the line. She just tools Valentine Anderson down the line. She's not wanting to hit the ball into the bigger block in the middle of Kayla Caffey.
Harley Graham is in there doing the setting. She does the serving for Vegas. Payne from the 3-meter line. It's a long way to deliver that kill.
It was perfect timing. She came flying in. It's a big swing out of the back row. And you see the importance of having the back row option, especially when your setter's front row. It just helps take pressure off those hitters in the front row, and it's such a tough ball to defend.
This is set point number 1. Rolled over by Maddox, pancaked up by Cooper. No whistle, they play on.
Right away, so the challenge when it's during a play, if you want to challenge it, you have to call it right away. And you hear the horn beep that the Thrill coaches thought that ball was down, so they challenged it even though the play was still going on.
All right, we had a pretty good look at it. Fingernails are under it. But
can't tell if part of the ball's on the court yet. It's a toughie.
That might be our best one, and it wasn't called during play. What do you see?
I think maybe some of that ball hit on the ground. I think she got her nails under it, but I don't think it was clean.
Yeah. And it is a point that's going to go the Vegas Thrill way. That last shot was much more definitive than anything else that we had seen. They always have that ace in the pocket. You know, there's always that one extra shot that they decide to share, build the drama. Well, it's still set point, 24-23. Maddox serves it up. Good pass for Valentine Anderson. Kelsey Payne, back row attack, and she gets the kill.
Payne right now is almost more successful swinging out of the back row than she has been in the front row. She's got a really long approach, long arm swing, so that really bids well for a back row attack. And so Valentine Anderson is confident in her and is really getting the ball right now.
Good start for the home team. Omaha takes set one, 25-23. Set two coming up.
Get ready, Novas Nation. On Sunday, March 30th, the Supernovas will light up the court as they face off against the Grand Rapids Rise. Join the electric atmosphere, witness heart-stopping plays, and see your Supernovas battle for victory. Don't wait until it's too late. Seats are filling fast, and you won't want to miss this world-class matchup. Be a part of the world's leading pro volleyball fan base. Secure your tickets now at supernovas.com.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for that next. Beautiful pass way. Balls blocked straight down. What a rocket out of the back. Now they calling my phone, yeah, but I'm all in my zone. They not a threat. Tell them reset.
She is absolutely white hot. And a nice block on the outside.
Yeah, all on my own, yeah. Went and brought it back home.
What a final rally.
When I hear it coming up like that, I just know that things are gonna end bad. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la. I'll just keep dropping it, like there's no stopping it. Then walk with it. La 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 la.
Pro Volleyball Federation Season 2. Tickets available now.
With Lindsey Peterson, I'm Bill Dolman, and welcome back to the CHI Center in Omaha. It's PVF volleyball action with the Omaha Supernovas and the Vegas Thrill, and Omaha took set one by 2, 25-23. That's quite a trio of fans in attendance tonight. The man in the middle, of course, John Cook, the legendary volleyball coach at Nebraska who recently retired. Harper Murray is to the right side of the screen, Nebraska All-American. But it's the guy on the left, Lindsey, that when he took to the floor when the heroes were honored a few moments ago, that had everybody standing up a little straighter. That's General Anthony Cotton from STRATCOM, the Strategic Command at Offutt Air Force Base here in Omaha, which is just on the south side of the metro area. When General Cotton took to the floor along with Sergeant Major Howard Kramer, it was a pretty special moment.
It was. To think of the stress they're under. I'm sure coach is sitting there picking his brain, wanting to know, how do you handle these stressful situations? Not that now that he's retired, he may not have to worry about that so much, but I know he was always so, John always talked about, even told our players, just think about what our Army specialists, our generals, and everyone that works, that's protecting our country and our freedom. The stress they feel and the pressure they do, so you guys can do this game of volleyball and do what you love. And so it was a great tribute to them tonight.
Yeah, quite the shot to see Harper Murray and John Cook and General Cotton in attendance. Another great crowd tonight at the CHI Center. Omaha opens up with the opening point of set number 2, a misplay by Morgan Stout. Ball harmlessly fell to the floor. See if Hannah can get the thrill on the board. Nope. Bounced over to Maddox, who had a good opening set, and she does get a kill to get the first point for the thrill.
Thrill going back to their original starting lineup with Alicia Glass setting and Cameron Hanner on the right side.
That hit just outside the line, and a point for the thrill, 2-1 early on. That's 8 kills now in the match, going back and doing some bookkeeping for Maddox. That ball hits the antenna. Tapped over by Kayla Caffey.
That's one of the important things about getting your middles involved offensively, is it doesn't have to be perfect all the time. Because it's so quick, you're usually catching the defender still trying to move off the net to dig, or you saw there a double block was up, leaving that left front corner open for Cappy.
Another kill for Hannah Maddox. That's 9 for her in this match already.
Maddox has a big jump as well, and she's matchup-wise is matched up on a small block. So Alicia Glass is continuing to feed Maddox as much as possible to try to take advantage of that mismatch.
Cameron Hannah served this one up. Nonaviller tools the block and gets the kill. So the two teams just trading points here in set number 2.
Serving for the big O, number 5, Nonaviller.
7 kills for Nonaviller, who serves this and floats it to Oblad. Not much on that attack. Here's Payne. Omaha wants a touch, and they're not going to get that call. Just one at a time, both ways.
Payne, nice high swing, just missing the top of the hand. She's had a lot of success hitting that back row attack in the first set, so we continue to try to find some strength there.
Reagan Cooper gets the kill for Omaha. Came into this match 10th in the league in total kills at 175, approaching the 200 mark.
Reagan was Rookie of the Year last year, and Omaha had big plans for her this year, and she's really come in and had to carry a big load for them offensively.
There's a kill for Charity Looper. Just her 3rd kill of this match. Again, she's coming off a 23 kill night in the win over Grand Rapids that ended the losing streak. That's a Vegas Thrill record for kills in a 4-set match.
I'm sure the Supernova scouting report very much covered what Charity Looper likes to hit and when they like to run her on offense.
Talk about a player tooling the block on an attack. That's Brooke Nonaviller tooling the tape to get this kill.
She has such a high volleyball IQ. Brooke sees the court really well, so she saw she had 3 blockers up. Smart play. You don't want to take a big swing when you have 3 blockers up against you, and that time just got the lucky roll over the tape.
Overpass, and that's a tough play for Childress all around. We had that Omaha block waiting for the attack, and that was a relatively easy play to give Omaha the 6-5 lead. This is Nati Valentine Anderson, who will serve it up. Averaging just 9.5 assists per set. And that attack cuts wide. And I think this is our first multi-point lead of this set, 7-5. Omaha took set one, 25-23. It's a 3-0 run for Omaha. That's tracked down by Cameron Hanna and set free by DeFalco. Can Omaha make it 4 in a row? Not this time. Valentine Anderson goes in the middle, and that's Ord getting the kill, and it is a 4-0 run.
Supernovas, one of their strategies here is loopers in the front row, so they're really attacking her from the service line, making her have to pass to attack, and they've been pushing her back with their serve, and that's eliminated her as an option to swing, or she's struggled passing a little bit. So that's just helping the Supernovas out defensively, taking her out of that offense.
Nunaviller out of the back row. She gets the kill. Go back to the serve by Valentine Anderson. She drove it at Hannah Maddox and took her completely out of the play. 9 kills now for Nunaviller.
Nunaviller, they're making a good run out of the back row. You see Looper's a little late coming to close on that block. It's a little quicker tempo. Valentine Anderson's running to Brooke there in the back row. She gets on it quick and allows her to pull that one down.
Five in a row scored by Omaha. Stout, not much on that. Played by Mayfield, set free. Reagan Cooper, nice play by DeFalco. Maddox, rejected by Horde.
Horde and Kelsey Payne both got in there. Now that's a big block when they get there and close that. And you see Kelsey coming in the last second helping, and Maddox thinking it's a one-on-one block against Horde, trying to take the ball back to right back, making Valentine Anderson play it. Kelsey Payne makes a great read to get her hands in there to get that block.
With Lindsey Peterson, I'm Bill Dolman. Welcome back to the CHI Center in Omaha. The Supernovas lead the thrill by a score of 10-5. It's a 5-0 run for the Supernovas. They're back, a bunch of back and forth, 1 point at a time. Omaha's gone on a run. They did the same thing back in set one. Omaha trailed at 1 point, 11-6. Went on a 6-0 run to take a 12-11 lead. They didn't cruise to the win, but they did take the win in the first set. Doubling up here, 10-5. Here's Mayfield with the tip. Kelsey Payne tips it back. Late by Stout. Mayfield's got a little more on that one, and she gets a kill. Kelsey, or beg your pardon, Allison Mayfield had 18 kills against Omaha back in January.
Yeah, Mayfield, between Mayfield and Looper and Maddox, they've all kind of been trying to find a great or consistent stretch that they can put together for the thrill on the outside. And it's a good rotation. Outside hitters, they all have different styles, and I think you're just trying to see if it's working to get that rhythm offensively from the left side.
Cameron Hanna rejected on the attack. And it's a point for the Supernovas, and the lead is back up to 5. Reagan Cooper set to serve it up and does so at Maddox. Mayfield, good swing. Nunaviller, dug by Maddox. Nice quick play in the middle that time to get Morgan Stout a kill.
Smart play by Stout. She saw how quick the transition was. She wasn't able to get all the way off, so you see her just run along the net and just do a quick step close and get up. So she didn't get a long approach knowing she didn't have a long approach, she wasn't going to be able to take a big swing, and just found a way to get a kill.
You might want a mulligan on that swing. That's a miss hit. You have a service error.
Timing on the toss was just a little off.
That's like topping your 3-iron a little bit. 12-7. And Horton serves from the floor and sends it long.
Caitlin had gone on a big run for the Supernovas in that, it was part of that 6-0 run that the Supernovas had early in the first set.
Camila Gomez has come in, the libero for Omaha, wearing 10 in the alternate jersey. Maddox tips it deep. Cooper dug. Gomez does her job. Nunaviller trying to get the double-digit kills. Kelsey Payne tips it. Anybody going to wind up and take a swing at it? There's one. Reagan Cooper gets the kill. They still call that patty cake?
You wonder, at this point in the season, you just wonder how some of these athletes are holding up. And you see it maybe a little bit in the timing off offensively, some of these longer rallies that aren't real clean. You wonder how much that has to do with their bodies are starting to break down. I mean, some of these athletes they played through college season, and now they're in a professional season and haven't really had a break. So it's a long time, and really managing your bodies and recovery is such a key for professionals. As you speak, especially if you speak to the professionals that have been in it a long time, they understand the importance of that. And really bringing along these newer players, these rookies coming out of college is so important. So when you see some of these plays that the timing's off or they aren't connecting, you wonder if that's to do with fatigue. Mental and physical fatigue for these athletes.
Yep. Heard talk to us, Coach Kuhn talked to us about that. Players being smart the final 40 days of the regular season in terms of what they're doing, where they're going, and getting good rest and nutrition. You're right. That's such a critical thing, that especially when you're on your own as a professional now, you have some structure, but it's not like it was in college just a couple of weeks ago or months ago. Maddox gets the kill.
I think she just missed. Yeah, it was a big swing. I think she just missed the line.
Yep. She thought that the referee had said, yeah, that's a kill for you, and it's a point for Omaha. And it takes us to the technical timeout. 16-8 is our score. It's Supernova runaway right now. Welcome back to Omaha, where the Supernovas lead the Vegas Thrill by a score of 16-8. Pretty tight volleyball in the opening frame, but after a 5-all tie in the second set, it has been all Omaha. The Supernovas have scored 11 of the last 14 points to take a 16-8 edge. That is not good service received by Maddox, who just has to set it free. Gives Omaha a chance to keep that offense going. Tipped over. Played up by DeFalco. Willow Johnson with the swing, and it's a net violation called on Omaha.
I think Kayla Caffey, just in her footwork coming out to close on that ball, caught the net. But going back to this run by Omaha, and they've really done it from the service line. They've really got the thrill out of their offense by the pressure they're putting on the passers for their throw.
Nunaviller with another kill. Leads back up to 8 for Omaha. Supernovas in search of win number 13 on the season against 5 losses. That's driven at Maddox. Willow Johnson out of the back row, dug up. In the middle. Caffey. Nice play by Willow Johnson. Caffey another chance. Right into the block of Oblad. Then set free. Great defense in this sequence. Kelsey Payne gets the kill. Off the hand of Johnson.
Both sides of the net scrambling to keep the ball alive. Everyone hitting the floor, making some great one-hand digs. And then to see a big swing out of the right side. You see there, Payne just taking it from the right side of the court, sharp to the right side of the court on the Thrills back row.
Miscommunication. Childress, after letting that ball fall to the floor, looked back at Looper as if she thought Charity Looper might be involved in the play, and it was Johnson. And Ramon Hernandez-Cruz is taking a timeout here to try to get his team back in sync because set number 2 is starting to slip away.
Yeah, you can see that they've made some substitutions. There's maybe a little bit of hesitation going on between passers, hitters. Some of that's due to the service pressure that the Supernovas have applied to the Thrills, so they're usually scrambling or out of system, and then this time they're in system and there's a little confusion on what you're running, and that's hard to see, but when you're moving people in and out and changing your lineup, it's not a surprise to see.
Volleyball tonight. Omaha trying to take a 2-0 lead. At some point, you're thinking about waving the white flag in set 2, but you want your team to finish strong. They just have not been in sync, really, since the first couple of points, speaking of Vegas. Nunaviller, that's too long, and a point for the Thrill.
That time they come out, they're in sync offensively. Oblad had a nice swing there down the line. Just to credit Gomez for the good dig for the Supernovas.
Maddox serves it up. And that's the first service ace of the match for Vegas.
Everybody clap your hands.
She's got a tough jump serve, topspin serve. And you see some of these servers, some topspin, some jump float, and keeps the passers out of rhythm if you keep mixing up the style of serve that's coming out.
Good block set up by the Thrill. Reagan Cooper, dug, but out of bounds. Mary Schroll is back in there as the libero, and now she exits. DeFalco comes back in. Gomez leaves the lineup for Omaha. Lindsay Krause comes in for her first appearance.
And number 22, Lindsay.
Phoebe Awole has also come in, wearing number 17, and it's Omaha with a 20-11 lead. Krause serves. Tough play for the Thrill. Chance for Omaha offensively, and Awole comes into the match and gets her first kill.
Why not set her on the first play?
Yeah. Make sure you've been paying attention.
Yeah.
Terrific play to beat the block and find the open area. Back to a 10-point advantage for Omaha, 21-11. Lindsey Krause will serve it again.
It's a good way as a setter to give your attackers a little confidence. Go to them after they've been standing for 2 sets and they come in.
You got one doing the serving and another doing the attacking. Krause with another good serve, and that ball is too far. Hits it wide, and that's Charity Looper, who went down awkwardly, and she remains down.
That set was wide and tight. And she came down on the ref standard on one leg.
And now a lot of concern for Charity Looper, again a Dallas, Texas native. Didn't play against Omaha in their first meeting, and now she gets up and has a smile on her face, and that's probably the best thing you can hope for. And she's going to stay in there.
You can see she's talking with Valentine Anderson, just joking under, just nice friendly chatter.
Yeah. You okay? I'm okay.
Yeah.
Maybe a little embarrassed. I don't know. Yeah, that took Lindsey Krause out of her rhythm after 2 good serves and gives the Vegas Thrill a point. But you get the sense that set 2 might be a foregone conclusion, 22-12. Gomez comes back into the lineup, and Krause leaves on the Omaha side. Reagan Cooper gets the kill off Willow Johnson.
Good ball in system, quick tempo out to the pen for Cooper, and she's able to beat the block there down line. See Glash is just a little late moving out to the pen. It gives her a lot of room to swing down the line.
Nadi will serve it up. And again, serving at Maddox. Morgan Stout, not much on that attack. One of the longer rallies we've had tonight. And Cooper is blocked. Childress going to go to Stout again, and this time she gets the kill.
Good patience from both sides of the court offensively, making smart plays if the set wasn't there, keeping the ball in play, allowing their team to try to win it on defense. And that time you see defensively they get a good first contact on the ball to allow Alicia to set a quick tempo on that side.
And a service error puts the Omaha Supernovas at a basket full of set points. 24-13. Reagan Cooper is going to serve it. Nice dig. Omaha sets it free and sets it up perfectly for Willow Johnson to terminate.
Great dig by Gomez, and then just miscommunication between Valentine Anderson and Payne on who was going to send it over to allow basically a perfect set for Willow Johnson to take a sweep.
Looper serves it. Reagan Payne terminates it. Kelsey Payne terminates it. And that gives the Omaha Supernovas a set 2 win handily, 25-14. Omaha took the first set by 2 and takes a commanding win in the second frame.
Get ready, Novas Nation. On Sunday, March 30th, the Supernovas will light up the court as they face off against the Grand Rapids Rise. Join the electric atmosphere, witness heart-stopping plays, and see your Supernovas battle for victory. Don't wait until it's too late. Seats are filling fast, and you won't want to miss this world-class matchup. Be a part of the world's leading pro volleyball fan base. Secure your tickets now at supernovas.com.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world, the iHeartRadio app lets you take it all with you and stay connected to your favorite team wherever you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Novas Nation. On Sunday, March 30th, the Supernovas will light up the court as they face off against the Grand Rapids Rise. Join the electric atmosphere, witness heart-stopping plays, and see your Supernovas battle for victory. Don't wait until it's too late. Seats are filling fast, and you won't want to miss this world-class matchup. Be a part of the world's leading pro volleyball fan base. Secure your tickets now at supernovas.com.
NCAA women's volleyball has never been more electrifying. The action is non-stop. The energy is explosive. Experience the intensity live. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next.
Beautiful back swing. Ball is blocked straight down. What a rocket out of the back.
Now they calling my phone, yeah, but I'm all in my zone. They not a threat. Tell them reset.
She is absolutely white hot. And a nice block on the
Did it
outside.
all on my own, yeah. Went and brought it back
What
home.
a final rally.
Get ready, Novas Nation. On Sunday, March 30th, the Supernovas will light up the court as they face off against the Grand Rapids Rise. Join the electric atmosphere, witness heart-stopping plays, and see your
People are going to get really sick of me saying this, but there truly is no other place in the world with the fan experience than here in the state of Nebraska.
A new pro volleyball attendance record here tonight, 13,486 here at the CHI Center in Omaha.
Amazing. This is my favorite place to play. I mean, you walk out of CHI and you see all the stands or the empty seats when you're practicing, but once it's full, it's just a different energy that you experience.
Nebraska being the epicenter of volleyball was the reason why this was going to be special. Now, we didn't know going into that first match. We always talk about this first match of last season. This community and fans bought in so hard that it was like shocking. Like, we all didn't know what to expect. It was a Wednesday night, home opener. Zero idea of what the crowd would be like, the engagement of the crowd, how many people would be there. School night, set 5, everyone's still there. Everyone's still there.
To show up with 11,000 plus people at your first professional volleyball game, the first professional volleyball experience that these fans have ever had, just because of faith, just because they enjoy volleyball, that's really something I don't think anywhere could replicate anywhere in the world.
That, to me, was a game changer for our sport, because you know right there, people are bought in. It was Omaha, it was Nebraska, it was the reason why this pro space will be successful in the States. And we kind of set that down.
We're at the core of the league because of the support that we get from our fans and the community. And it's not only when we're winning, you know, we lost a couple of games last year where we're like, oh my gosh, we're worried that maybe no one's going to show up. But no, it was even better the next day or the next game.
Second most attendance record in Supernovas history inside, 12,723 the attendance record today.
Having that 7th player on the stands all the time, supporting you no matter what, it feels amazing.
So it's just really, really special to be a part of not only a community that loves volleyball so much, but that just shows their support.
Well, Lindsay, you certainly know what it's like to be around large crowds for volleyball, and I'm sure you've been a part of these Supernovas crowds and seen what they've done. 4 this season have already topped 12,700. It is amazing the way this community, this state embraces the sport of volleyball, unlike anything anywhere in the world.
Really it is. I mean, the number of professional volleyball players that have come back and have played all over the world in any stadium there is, say there's no place like playing in the state of Nebraska. Just our fans are super knowledgeable. They respect the sport. They celebrate good plays on both sides of the net. They understand the sport of volleyball, and they really value seeing young women excel and have these opportunities. And and to support them and to give them these, a crowd like this is incredible. And it just speaks to what this league can do and what they've done in these first 2 years.
And it's not just great volleyball, but it's also a great show at the CHI Center. Diane Mendenhall and her entire staff, the way they honor the community, like tonight on Heroes Night. And tonight, Omaha leads it 2-0 over Vegas. Terrific competition in set number one, won by the Supernovas 25-23. Omaha dominated in the second frame 25-14. So we go to the third. Omaha, remember now, won the first two sets out in Vegas back in January and lost a reverse sweep. And you come into the standings tonight, you've got three teams in the PVF with 12 wins. Omaha by percentage has the edge over the Valkyries and the Vibe. You got Indy in there, dangerous, 11-8. They came in and swept the Supernovas last week. And I think that loss kind of got the attention of the Supernovas. They've been a little sharper today. And look at Vegas in there at 8-9, 7-2 start, 7-match losing streak. They're right there in the mix toward the end to get a playoff spot.
Right, if they make a run here at the end, they'll definitely put themselves in position for that playoff. And it just speaks to the parity of this league. And Bird talked to us a little bit about that. That last year she didn't see this type of parity. You brought in a lot more of the rookie player or college athletes came into this season, and some players moved amongst the teams, and it's just made across the board every night a tough match. And so it's a crucial time of the year. These matches are key because it's really going to allow some of those separators as you head into the playoff.
And which team is taking the best care of itself, as rigorous as the travel can be and the competition can be in this league. And it's the Vegas Thrill that opens up the third frame with the first point.
You see the bench for the Supernovas all excited because Caitlin Horde came up with a big dig there. They just couldn't quite keep it out of the net, but her teammates were cheering her on that play.
Kelsey Payne into a double block, slapped over by Caffey. Willow Johnson tips. It's recovered by Valentine Anderson. Maddox another swing. Is that touched by the Omaha block? The Thrill says so. Omaha says no, but doesn't want to make eye contact with the official. They're going to have a review, and I think Vegas might have a point and get a point.
Vegas comes out with a little different lineup there. They go with Carly Graham as a setter, and they have Willow Johnson back in. So after they came in towards the end of that first set, didn't see a lot of playing time in the second. Now they come back in here to start the third and see if they can just mix things up, maybe a little different matchup, different look offensively for them, and to provide a little bit of a spark here in the third.
Taking a look at just the hitting percentages through the first two games as we also take a look at the replay. And it looks like there's probably a touch of that on the side.
Yeah. I think Kayla Caffey gets it.
A little closer than I thought it was in real time, and no. The verdict goes to the Supernovas.
That first shot looked like there might have been, but the second shot, not so.
Yeah. Well, through the first two sets, Omaha is hitting 309. 286 in the first frame, then jumped up to 333. 14 kills in each of the first two sets. And for the Vegas Thrill, hitting just 172 in this match. Caffey rejected. Nunaviller. That goes off the hands of the libero DeFalco, and that is her 10th kill of the match.
Classic for the Supernovas when they're looking for a big kill. A lot of time, Brooke is in that sequence.
Good serve that has the Thrill scrambling around. Johnson's attack is dug easily, and Reagan Cooper shoots it straight down in front of Carly Graham, who's in there as the setter for the Thrill.
Cooper really communicating there with Valentine Anderson. They run that behind her, back row coming out of the back row right behind the setter.
Johnson's getting a lot of swings. Nice dig by Valentine Anderson. Good control, but it's Nunaviller who... Nunaviller does get the kill. The block goes out of bounds.
Nunaviller just hard approach in there and just uses the outside hand of the block. She's such a smart attacker and really sees the block well. The reason for that is she keeps her feet behind the ball. As an attacker, if you let your feet get underneath the ball, you're looking up at the ball, you can't see what the block is providing. But Brooke is really good about keeping that ball in front of her so she can see what option she has as an attacker.
4-1 lead for Omaha, set number 3. Vegas uses its first timeout. They do not want to let this slip away like set number 2 did. Taking a look at the kill leaders through the first couple of sets. Nunaviller had 9 through the first 2. She already has 1. Kelsey Payne was 7. And Kayla Caffey, 4 kills. Maddox has been really busy for Vegas. 9 kills through the first 2. She had 7 in the opening, but they shut her down. Just 2 kills in that second frame.
Well, they made her pass a lot more of it, so they forced her to have a lot more first contact, serve receive, first off serve receive, and that slowed her down a little bit offensively.
Oblad is turned away. Maddox off the block and then off the hands of Kelsey Payne. And the Thriller back on the board. Stops a 4-0 Omaha run. Willow Johnson serves. Caffey dug by Johnson. Maddox. Nice dig by Gomez. Another great play by Gomez. And the joust is one of the net by Nunaviller.
Right away you see Brooke turn around and give credit to Gomez there for that play. She was flying in to save that off the block, and that's what as a libero, that's your job out there. You want to give your hitters full confidence to take a swing and that you'll be there to cover them.
Nonaviller serves. Maddox, good swing. A lot of power on that.
Goodbye, Maddox.
Double-digit night for Maddox.
Survey number
Played her
11,
collegiate
Maddox.
ball at South Alabama. She was with Vegas last year. Played in 23 matches, averaged 10 kills. Back to serve here. That's wicked. A play by Hooper. Down the line goes Kathy for the kill.
Hooper getting her hands on that ball and throwing it up to Valentine Anderson. You see the experience in Valentine Anderson there. When the ball coming flying at you at that tempo, she's still able to get the right tempo back on that slide as a setter.
Johnson out of the back row, dug by Payne. It's an overpass. Oblad couldn't terminate. Nonaviller sets it free. Maddox whips that past Nonaviller for the kill. She is fun to watch.
Thrill, Looper and Maddox are similar outside attackers. They both very good jumpers. They're quick off the ground. They have a quick arm swing.
Set free into the donut by Valentine Anderson, and she gets a kill. Such a heady player.
Survey number 1, Valentine Anderson.
Bird talked to us about this team. Really, their style or their personality is how gritty they are and feisty they are. And you see that in Valentine Anderson, in Brooke out there on the court, in Gomez. There's never any quit in them, and they just are always coming up with a play, and that's really come and spilled into how this team plays. Everyone has embodied that characteristic.
You know, Lindsay, we were talking in the last set, as we got a 7-5 Omaha lead here in the third, about taking care of yourself, especially at this stage of the season. And many of these athletes are just coming off a collegiate campaign. And that ball is poked wide by Horde. And it's a point for Vegas. They're now within one. But to have somebody like a Valentine Anderson, who's played professional volleyball all over the world for 16 years, you have somebody on your roster. This Omaha roster has 8 rookies. Vegas has 6. Here's how you need to take care of yourself at this stage of the season. It's good to have somebody like that around these younger players.
Absolutely. It's there's a great amount of wisdom that comes from those athletes.
Pace yourself. 13 kills now for Nonaviller. Back up to a 2-point edge for Omaha. Kelsey Payne's up there with a double block along with Caitlin Horde. And another point for Omaha. And it's about this stage, as they've done in the last couple, where they start to turn things around. You get about 10 points in, and Omaha started to take control.
That was just a tough ball there for Van Buskirk. The set was pushed all the way over. It was tight, and the block was just standing there waiting for it.
Charity Looper. She's rejected. Going to try it again. And she gets the kill.
Point Vegas, still by Charity Looper.
Looper, as we talked before the match started, how she would be someone that would need to have a big night, and I really feel like the Supernovas have really shut her down tonight so far, and almost made her style of game has the impact that it has the last 3 matches for the Thrill.
Well, and Looper didn't play against Omaha back in January, so this is the first time they're taking a look at her live and up close, not just on scouting reports. Horde serves. 3 aces in this match. He only had 1 coming into the season, coming into this match on the season.
Point Thrill, killed by Looper. Serving number 7.
Maddox and Looper are having a lot of success, though, for the Thrill, attacking out of the back row, coming up the middle of the court. They have a little more range. They're going against usually a single block, and they've just found a way to get kills for the Thrill that way.
Point Thrill.
That attack goes wide, and it's another point for the Thrill. Now to within 1, 10-9. Layton Buskirk is into the match. First time we've seen her, she's doing the serving. And an overpass teed up perfectly for Berkeley Oblad, and it's 6-5. She's not going to let that get past her. And Vegas has climbed back to a 10-all tie. Another good serve from Buskirk. Kelsey Payne splits the block and gets the kill.
Big swing there. Cooper comes back with a great pass. And Payne, it's quick tempo to the pen, the right side, and is splitting the block. Payne makes him pay.
Willow Johnson down the line and gets the kill.
Serving number 4, Johnson.
And Johnson will serve.
Right on the line.
Awkward tip. Nice save by Johnson. Maddox winds up and uses the line and gets the kill. Kelsey Payne says that thing may have gone outside the antenna, but she's the only one who's making that claim.
That was a big swing by Maddox.
Oh. You think that was outside?
I don't think it was.
Overpass, Valentine Anderson, nice recovery in that joust. Nunaviller into the block. And set free by Payne. Good defense, pretty good offense, and now Vegas scrambles. Graham had to cover herself. Great play by Nunaviller. But it's looped into the net by Reagan Cooper, and it's a point for the Thrill.
Incredible up there by Brooke Nunaviller. She just read that so well. She was all the way over on the left sideline to come flying across to make that dig. And she played libero in college. You see that a lot here in her professional days. She reads the court so well, anticipates so well defensively that she can make those plays that a lot of outside hitters aren't making when they're coming off the net to play defense.
Well, Nunaviller is the only non-libero in the top 10 in digs in the PVF. Good attack and good coverage. Hooked up by Caffey. Luper out of the back row. Dug by Gomez. Nunaviller goes off the block with Luper still on the floor. And now she is in a lot of pain, signaling for the trainer to come out. She went down earlier and did not seem to have any ill effects. That was in set number 2. This time around, she's feeling a lot of pain. She's got a large leg brace on, covering her left knee. And while they tend to her, midway through set number 3, we are going to step aside for a timeout with Vegas leading 13-11. All right, welcome back to Omaha, where the Vegas Thrill in set number 3 must win frame for Vegas. They lead Omaha 13-11. Charity Luper just went down with an injury. She exits. Mayfield has come in to replace her. Vegas serving it up, leading it by 2. Nunaviller down the line, but wide, and Omaha claims that there's a touch, and so we're going to get a replay.
All the players for the Supernovas called touch right away. Here you see they're looking at Looper's knee on the sideline, and it actually wasn't the knee that had the big brace on it. Because she's also cutting it down the line so that spin is on the ball from how she's cutting it. No? Oh, yep.
But we didn't get that extra view. You'll see enough of it. And there is a touch on the Vegas side. And it's a point for the Supernovas, who trail at 13-12 now. So erase that point for Vegas. And Nunaville serves. Maddox, it's off the blocks. A flying dig by Gomez. Reagan Cooper. There's Mayfield, another dig by Gomez. And Kelsey Prain is going to set it free. Dumped over by Graham. And Cooper gets the kill.
That's the first time you saw Graham be offensive in the front row, and I think as soon as she did it, she regretted that decision because the Supernovas were ready for it. And then Payne, just a sharp swing down the line. That one was right across the tape, so it just missed the block.
Nunaville tracks it down. And that's Reagan Cooper getting another kill. She had 13 kills in the match in Vegas back in January. 43 swings in that contest. It's a 3-0 run now for Omaha to take a 14-13 lead. And that sails long.
Serving number 11, Maddox.
Hannah Maddox goes back to serve. She only had 5 kills in that match back in January. Well, she sails that one. That got away.
That was an easy decision for the Passers.
Picked the wrong club out of the bag.
Serving for Lego, number 28,
Caffey just clears the net with that serve. Maddox, nice dig by Nunaville. Reagan Cooper dug up by Maddox. And Mayfield gets the kill off the hand of Nunaville. Smacks the floor.
I love her intensity on the court. Hey. She makes a diving play, and if she misses the next one, she's not happy with herself. And that's so contagious to your teammates when you're playing with that much intensity all the time, and what makes your gym so competitive. And I think that's, Bird spoke to it as well. She said our practices are always competitive, and that's how you get better and how you continue to get better when you're into season this far. You can't let your team get complacent, and when you have competitive players like Brooke out there, complacency is not an option.
Ball poked around, settles on the Omaha side. And Reagan Cooper gets yet another kill. She is really playing at a high level in this third set. And that takes us to the 16-point mark. Omaha gets there first, and the Supernovas lead this match 2-0. And this frame, 16-15. Well, they tried to introduce John Cook to the crowd at the CHI Center, but the ovation was deafening during the intro. A man who needs no introduction in the state of Nebraska and really in the volleyball world. And Lindsay, somebody I think you know pretty well, having worked for him and played for him for many years. But this is just a tribute to what John Cook has done in his time as the head coach of Nebraska, what's happening with pro volleyball in the U.S. And I can remember, Lindsay, when a young guy named John Cook was brought on staff by Terry Pettit, and he just kind of followed Terry around and followed in the legend's footsteps and created something even greater.
Yeah, John has created quite the legacy, and you know, one of the biggest factors to his legacy is he always pushed the bar and tried to raise the bar for the sport of volleyball. He's always wanted more. He knew he saw great things, and he pushed when it was other people tried to push back, and he didn't give up, and he, you know, always was thinking outside of the box and dreaming big and coming up with ways to try to get to where we are today with volleyball. And he has a lot to do with where we are with having a professional league, the collegiate game, the number of matches on TV, the record-setting crowds. Like, he had a vision for a lot of years, and he didn't back down to anybody. And I think that's what you see these fans so celebrating him for.
Well, coming out of the timeout, Omaha gets the point, but let's carry on this conversation just for a moment. There was a nice moment. John does a podcast with his daughter, Lauren. They've done it for years, and she's always called him Coach Cook. And she finally said, now that you've retired, can I call you Dad? I'm wondering, Lindsay, can you now call him John?
Yeah, I catch myself. Yeah, I think that's clear. I can do that too. I would call him that now after working with him for so long.
Sure. He couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
I would say that. But it's been an absolute pleasure, and you know, I'm so excited for him and his family, and for him to enjoy this next journey of his life and retirement. He jokes to me, he says, I'm busier now than I was when I was with you. And I said, I still get lots of people reaching out to me trying to get you to come speak or do whatever. So he's not quite sitting back and having drinks in retirement yet. But
I can't imagine that. And he is sitting back right now and watching the match with Nebraska Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Rogers. So the Jets in the house as well. So you've got John Cook, Johnny Rogers, and also a tip of the cap to Diane Mendenhall, who has done such a magnificent job having been at Nebraska, brought the mentality and the structure to the Omaha Supernovas. And as we come to another timeout, the conversation about John Cook certainly worth it. To get back to the action, Omaha leads this 19-16 in set number 3. And Supernovas are 6 points away from a sweep of Vegas. And there's Johnny the Jet in black in the center of your screen.
I would think that Bird is very satisfied with how our team came out tonight after coming off that match with India. And as she said, it's key how we respond, and she said our fans deserve better. And they start off a little shaky here to start this match, but have really come out and put a statement to cleaning things up and, you know, all back to business and understanding the importance of winning here at home and using the crowd to take advantage of this atmosphere.
Not sure what the numbers are officially with the attendance, but suffice it to say several thousand once again, and they've enjoyed the show. And out of the timeout, good play by Valentine Anderson, poking it up with one hand. That's pushed over by Nunaviller. And there's a kill for Willow Johnson.
First shot was sharp. The second shot, Willow Johnson went a little sharper. There you see sharp dig. Great dig there by Valentine Anderson, and then she comes back. That next shot by Willow Johnson inside the 10-foot line.
Nunaviller powering that attack through the block to get another kill, and Omaha's at 20. Attendance tonight is 10,017. 10,017 for Omaha. It's just outside of the top 10 all time. Lindsay Krause is in, serving this up. And that's out of her reach and out of bounds. A point for the Vegas Thrill.
Once again, Maddox with the big swing on the outside. She's really been their go-to player tonight, and the one stepping up, and when they need a point, that's who the setters are looking for.
Kelsey Payne. Another kill. 21-18, 4 away.
Number 11, Kelsey Payne.
Picking up win number 13 on the season. After this, the Supernovas taking on Grand Rapids. That'll be on Sunday on Nebraska Public Media. Maddox, dug by Gomez. Hey, she is fun to watch in that libero jersey, and another kill.
Brooke comes in. Gomez, another diving dig. Great court vision there. And then come out of the back row once again, Reagan Cooper with the kill.
9 of them tonight. That's out of the reach of Gomez. And a point for Vegas. Omaha's currently on a 4-game home stretch.
Substitution into the match number 17.
And they'll be at Vegas on April 10th. It's a roadie that includes Vegas and San Diego. Omaha does end the season with 8 of the last 12 matches at home through the end of the regular season, which is May 4th. These two teams will meet on this court again on April 27th. Childers serve this up, and that's Kathy terminating.
Kayla's a great slide attacker, and I mean by slide, when she runs a slide, she's coming behind the setter, going off one leg. It's really her forte, is getting behind there, and you see she's very powerful coming off that line of approach.
6 kills for her. That uses the tape. And it's another kill for Reagan Cooper. 10 kills tonight for Reagan Cooper. We talked about her in the open, and she's had a good show. And the Supernovas are at match point, 25-19. Maddox played off Gomez. Can Cooper get another kill? She can. And the Supernovas have a sweep. 25-19, the first team in the PVF to 13 wins on the season.
Supernovas, that last 5 points look really good. They put pressure on from the service line, big swings from the pens. You saw defensively Gomez really taking over on the back row, and really a big statement here, that last 5 points.
25-19 the score in set number 3. Omaha's now won 5 of its last 6 matches, and that lone loss, that 3-0 sweep at the hands of Indy, that back on the 22nd. And Omaha righted that wrong. That's something that they wanted to do, coming back home with the fans filling the place the way they do. This is a much more efficient. I think that maybe that's the key word tonight, is an efficient performance, really from start to finish.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, maybe the first few points weren't what they hoped, but from that point on, you could see them really focus in, not let it get sloppy, not let the thrill dictate the speed of the game or how the game would be played. And yeah, I would say that it's a good point moving forward as they come back with another big match on Sunday and taking advantage of this time being at home.
Well, Vegas falls to 8-10 on the this season. Again, they started 7-2, lost 7 in a row, righted that with their win over Grand Rapids, but get swept tonight in Omaha. So they're 8-10, right in the middle of the PVS standings coming into play. Still a shot to get into the playoffs, but they're going to have to do a little bit more work. Taking a look at the upcoming schedule for the Supernovas, they've got Grand Rapids and Orlando to wrap up this homestand. Then those 2 trips out west to Vegas and San Diego, then back right here in this building with Grand Rapids and the Atlanta Vibe. We're hoping to be joined by Laura Kuhn. Bird should be joining us, and she is. Terrific. Bird, I said just a moment ago, efficiency may be the best way to describe what we saw tonight from your team from start to finish to get the sweep. How satisfying was it to get this win after what happened against Indy the other night?
I'm proud of them. I mean, I don't know if we started great, but we definitely had composure, and I'm proud of them for that. We have to grind, and we know we have to grind. There's little things that we're always going to work on cleaning up, but I think our serving really kept the pressure on them tonight.
Yeah, I was going to say you had to be happy with your team from the service line. They really got the thrill out of their rhythm offensively. But I want to speak to Caitlin Horde. I mean, she came into this set or this match with just one ace, and she ends the match with 3. And what can you say to her about her?
She has made her mind up that she wants to be a defensive middle, whether that's blocking. But a couple weeks ago, she made her mind up she wanted to be scoring points for us. So we actually started in 3 tonight for a matchup that we wanted, and I'm proud of her for executing at a high level, and she put her mind to it.
Well, 13 wins, the first team in the PVF to get to that mark. As you look to the final month of the regular season, what are you hoping to see from your team as you prepare? You talked to us a lot about preparing yourselves to play this final month of the season.
Yeah, it is. It's our preparation, but it's how good can we be as a team? Because our opponents are going to challenge us in each individual way. But this team hasn't even come close to playing our best yet, and that's what we challenge them with every day. And our gym is competitive and we have fun, but it's how high of a level can we execute at consistently.
It's a lot of fun when you have a chance to play in front of a crowd like you had again tonight on Heroes Night. Congratulations on the win, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Laura Kuhn. Bird's team picks up its 13th win, now 13-5 on the season, 5-3 at the CHI Center. They've been a pretty good road team, 8-2 away from this building, and they want to turn that around a little bit more and continue to crank out the wins here at home.
Yeah, usually teams struggle on the road, but they've made the most of their matches on the road for sure.
Thank you for joining us at Kiewit Court.
All right, we're joined now by Brooke Nuneviller. And Brooke, a terrific match. We just talked to Bird just a moment ago about how efficient tonight was and the way you finished this team off. How important was it for you and your teammates to right the wrongs of the performance against Indy the last time you were in this building?
Yeah, I mean, we don't like to get swept ever, especially not on our home court in front of a fantastic crowd that we always have. And I think we were just a tad complacent at times in Indy, and at the end of the day, like, they got 2 points before we did at the end of sets 1 and 2, and basically 3 as well. So I think something that we really preached coming into today is, like, there's not a single point that we can take off. You know, we have to be very urgent every single time, and I think we did a really great job of that today.
We definitely see that urgency in the play of Gomez tonight. I thought she had a huge match defensively, really coming up. How does her play give you confidence as a hitter, especially on those out-of-system plays when you know she's back there?
She's been working her butt off on defense every single day. I mean, she's just such a fantastic person to play next to, because you know that she wants to perform not only for herself but for her team, and she wants to play for you. She had some unreal cover plays from my hits that I got in the block that gave me confidence to keep swinging. Just really, really fantastic touches in the back court, and so I give her all the credit, because she's not someone that just happened to. She's been working really hard at practice.
Brooke, we know you have a lot of volleyball left to play in this regular season, and this is a different season and a different team. But how can you transfer what you learned last year during the championship season with about 30 days left to go in the regular season? What lessons were learned then that you can apply to this run?
I think we've learned that there's a lot of controversy and upsets in this league, and I don't really care what the rankings say. Obviously, I do. It's nice to be #1, but we don't take that as a sign that, you know, like I said, we can't take anything off, because every single team in this league is good. You saw some monster swings, really great defense on this side today, even though we swept them. Vegas is a fantastic team. So I think what we can learn is that maturity of never taking a rep off, coming into every single match the exact same way, no matter who's on the other side of the net.
15 kills tonight, leading your team to the win. Brooke, thank you for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys.
All right, terrific job by Brooke Nuneviller and her Supernovas teammates. Lindsay, your thoughts as we close out the show tonight?
Well, I think Brooke said it very well, and just the urgency, not taking a play off. When you get to this point in the season, I mean, I've seen it from the college side, and players mentally are starting to shut down, and they do start looking at the standards, and maybe they're looking forward to what's at the end and trying to cruise in this area. And they definitely didn't cruise tonight, and I think that should give the Supernovas some great confidence as they go into this next match on Sunday.
And that'll be against Grand Rapids tonight. It was against the Vegas Thrill, and our final score, Omaha defeats Vegas 3-0. For Lindsey Peterson and the entire sports production crew, I'm Bill Dolman. Good night from the CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska.
Get ready, Novas Nation. On Sunday, March 30th, the Supernovas will light up the court as they face off against the Grand Rapids Rise. Join the electric atmosphere, witness heart-stopping plays, and see your Supernovas battle for victory. Don't wait until it's too late. Get ready, Novas Nation. On Sunday, March 30th, the Supernovas will light up the court as they face off against the Grand Rapids Rise. Join the electric atmosphere, witness heart-stopping plays, and see your Supernovas battle for victory. Don't wait until it's too late. Seats are filling fast, and you won't want to miss this world-class matchup. Be a part of the world's leading pro volleyball fan base. Secure your tickets now at supernovas.com.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world, the iHeartRadio app lets you take it all with you and stay connected to your favorite team wherever you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.